All right, there we go. Hey everybody, sorry. Normally I have that intro video thing for you guys going with the countdown timer, but for whatever reason tonight specifically, my microphone wasn't working to the best of its ability. So I spent like the last 15 minutes trying to figure out what to do, and since I couldn't figure it out, I had to restart my computer and then that fixed it. So running a little bit behind schedule here. Everything's on the screen here, of course, but just like the background stuff was a little bit annoying to deal with. But okay. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let me go over here very fast. Um, Mag out. Down. There we go. All right, everybody. Happy to see you guys here. Let me move some stuff around on my part. What's the best way to do this? Yeah, we can do that way. All right. Not much has changed over the last few days, as you guys can see here. We've still been kind of dragging our way down. Excuse me, whoosh. I'm gonna have to get some water here in a second. Um, and what's going on right here? Hey Teaser, hey Bideford, hey all the members, hey Brides, hey Doge Master. All right, let me see if I can actually move this over a little bit more. This is gonna be a longer night. I was what was I just doing? Oh yeah, just fixing up the stream here. So give me a second. What's right here? Where's a question for tonight? I just put a poll up if that's what you're asking about. But if you have any other questions, you can ask away. Um, and hey, Doge Master, what do I think about tomorrow? As far as tomorrow is concerned, everybody, as people kind of trickle in here for the beginning of the stream, um, everything depends on the CPI data and what that's going to be telling us here. If inflation is very, very bad, the Federal Reserve is going to have to raise interest rates even more, cooling off the economy even more, and that'll really hurt the stock market quite a bit. And we're anticipating that if the stock market gets hit quite a bit, that's also going to be dragging down Bitcoin, more specifically, the Nasdaq here, right? Hold on. My sister's cat made it back down here again. Let me just text her very fast. She loves coming down here for some reason. Let's see. Okay. Come here, Loki. Come here, boy. All right, there we go. But hey, Far From Broke, happy to see you back as well. And hey, Monica, happy to see you guys as well here. Let me make sure I can move some of this stuff around on my end. I just don't like the way this little thing works. Yeah, or maybe better yet, let me just do this. There we go. I'll just have it this way. All right. Sorry, that was something on mine, not you guys. Hey, Nico, what do I think about the Coinbase one? I don't like Coinbase one particularly. I don't like using Coinbase. I don't feel like you should be paying to not have to pay fees. If I go buy something on KuCoin, I'm not paying fees. If I go buy something on BitGetins like the spot market, I'm not paying fees. I don't really like apps like that. Now, if you're okay paying the fees itself, it's fine. It's a good platform. You have fun trading on it. It doesn't have too many issues there that I see. My big issue with that is that it costs money to really do trading, and I don't like that, or they're charging you for the same reason. That's one of the reasons that I don't like using Robinhood as an app, because if I want to see level 2 data, or even on Webull, if I want to see some level 2 data real time, they make you they make you pay for that. When in reality, if you guys just went over to Fidelity or you guys just went over to TD Ameritrade, it's all free. Even the option flow data is free. So I don't like apps that particularly try to make people pay for this type of stuff. Okay, but overall, if you don't mind the fees, it's still a good product to use. Loki, come here. The cat's trying to harass my little pup over here. Yeah, I know. But what do you call? Yeah. So normally I don't like to use them too much. I prefer just to go down the free road. Fees add up over time. So over the past month or so, I probably spent like at least half a grand in fees because of how much I trade. Now I've made some good profits off of that, so I don't really care. And this month, well, not maybe this month as much, but the last month when we had this drop, I was trading like crazy during this period of time. So I raked up a bunch of fees on a lot of high leverage plays. But I knew that I was borrowing money, so I was willing to pay the fees for that, right? I understand the rates and all that good stuff. But as far as other apps, like when I'm just trading spot, there's no reason I should be paying a fee for that. There's no reason I should be paying a fee for that. And that's the only reason I don't like companies like that. Again, if you don't mind the fees, it's a good platform to try trading on. It'll be good to test out if you want to pop in $100 and see what you can do with it. I just prefer trading on computer monitors, desktop computers. It's much more efficient. You're much more reliable as far as making consistent income. It's just easier. Okay. What's right here? Yeah, thanks, Nico. I appreciate it, my man. And hey, Aaron. Hey, Michael. Hoping you're having a good day. Well, I mean, it's been a long day. It's been an okay day. Nothing bad really happened. It's just pouring down rain here, so I didn't get to do anything I really wanted to do. I was planning on doing a whole bunch of yard work, and it just started flooding. And then I had to watch Loki for most of the day because he was panicking. I live close to a joint base Lewis McCord, so it's like half Air Force base, half military base, and basically they're doing shell practice right now. So, well, they were doing it earlier today. So all you had is the house literally shaking because of such heavy artillery going on, like boom, and it was like, dude, come on, stop military, stop with your drills. But besides that, the day went fine. There wasn't really too much that I was paying attention to. I tried to watch the news for a little bit today, but I guess there's hearings going on today about something happening last year, the January 6th thing. Personally, I don't really care. It kind of happened a long time ago, and I'm more worried about inflation. But I know Congress kind of does its own thing, and it's election season, so we'll see how it all turns out. But I tried to watch the news today, and I was like, okay, there's nothing on. But yeah, I nothing really crazy has been going on, guys, today so far. Pretty average day for me. I did some. I was looking up some stuff for moving to Nicaragua. That was probably the highlight of my day. I'm giddy about moving down there, even if I'm not going to move for like over a year at this point. But here we go, everybody. Let's just actually put this on a 1 minute chart so you can see how close we are to breaking down over the next few hours or so. So, just a little bit ago, we did have this little bit of a slam by some type of Bitcoin short here. We were about $174 away from breaking down. And currently we are about $418 away from breaking down. So less than $500 away from breaking down right now, guys. So we've been in this spot before. Probably best to go to the 4-hour chart here. Best to get that off as well. If you guys wanted to try to take another opportunity here to buy with the 1% stop loss, by all means go for it. It might be pretty fun. We've talked about this a few times here, over the last few 4-hour candle bars over here. And so if you want to take the opportunity, now is still a good spot if you want to be trying that. The big thing here is tomorrow the CPI data is coming out, and I think that's what everybody's very concerned about. Going back to the larger picture here of the pattern that we're actually looking at, because I feel like sometimes we dive too much into all this random other stuff like GAN fans and volume, or not even volume, like moving averages and stuff like that, without just looking at the basic patterns. We basically just hopped in from one continuation pattern into another continuation pattern, and at this point in time, we're really just holding this GAN fan level right here. And that's really going to be the big thing going forward. So, for instance, if I remove all this stuff... Oh, I didn't mean to remove all that. Let me see if I can remove this. And you remember we talked about GAN fans over the past few weeks. We've been using one specifically for the Bitcoin to USD. The one for the Bitcoin Tether one has actually been very useful as well. And I'm just finding this out. This is something that was my bad. But this has been working out pretty darn well. And look at this. So I think our next big breakdown that needs to happen is us breaking down below week by week here. I'm not going to go day by day because it's going to be a little too difficult here. But week by week, by the end of this Sunday, we want to, if you want to be bullish about Bitcoin here, you want to see us stay above or close above $28,336. If that doesn't happen, oh boy, could this be just a really rough time ahead, of course. And then for next week, if for whatever reason we somehow stay above this level here, we want to be above 28,226. So 28,353 to 28,256 or so, okay? 226, excuse me. So we're getting closer and closer here. We have never closed down below this line so far on the daily chart. Maybe on the 4-hour charts, perhaps. A few times right here. But on the daily charts, still very solid. So this is what I think is going to be our big level of support going forward. And then, of course, if I wanted to draw that trend line back up here for that pennant, it almost looks like a downward channel here as well. Just using the Ganfeng level here as support, and then using the resistance up here from point A to point B. But okay, let's go right here. I think a more appropriate time to be shorting for an anticipation of this type of move might actually be right here as we break down. And I'll be very interested to see if tomorrow the CPI data is very, very bad. Will that cause Bitcoin to make such a move that we go from, maybe we have a little bit of a bounce later on tonight, who knows? But then we just completely bounce maybe once, then tank? Or is there going to be so much force because people are really panicking and the market may really panic tomorrow morning that we just come straight down here without people having an ample opportunity to maybe load up on shorts besides the initial breakdown point there. All right. What else can I do right here? We talked about some of the other Ganfens. There's no Ganfens of note that I'm looking at right here as far as support. The only ones that are going to be important to us are these ones, and these ones aren't even close. This is like down here at like $21,000, $20,000. Well below the 200 weekly moving average. I'm not giving these too much credit right now, but what I'm actually going to do later on tonight here is, you can see this is a Bitcoin USD dollar chart. I'm going to be doing these same Ganfeng levels just like I have here, but having another, what do you call these things again? Chart layout. I'm going to have one of these specifically for Tether ones, and I think we may switch over to those ones a little bit more frequently, and then kind of go back and forth to see which ones are going to be working the best for us going forward, okay? But there we go. Probably best to stick this back to the hour chart right here. Close to breaking down. And there you go. Okay. Logie. Oh, okay. There you go. Making sure my dog's not doing anything. There we go. Probably best to the 1 minute. Yeah, because guys, technically we could break down today, but I would hope that the breakdown would just occur during the CPI report tomorrow morning to make everything very simple for everybody involved. But normally when we see these big shorts, something is going on, and that's why I brought up in part the hearings going on about January 6th. I don't find them too interesting myself. I tried to watch the first few minutes of it with my mom upstairs, but then the guy started talking about racism, and then we just kind of blanked out out of it. Logie. Sorry. Hey, come here. Come here. I'm being a little brat right now. Come on. Good boy. Okay. He's super hyped up right now. Super hyped up. All right. There you go. What? There we go. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, usually we have seen moments where whales really try to tank Bitcoin during times where people are kind of not paying complete attention to it, where there's something else going around, like a holiday perhaps, or something where a lot of eyes are being drawn places. But the last time I don't think many people are actually watching the hearings tonight. Now, you guys know I deal a lot with social media these days, and I talk to a lot of people about social media and stuff like that. I just did a general search on it earlier. Jan 6th. Oops, I need to have the dash there, but that's fine. Um, 57K, only a few 100,000 people watching it. I didn't, I don't know. Maybe I'm using the Johnny Depp trial or something there, but it was much more people watching the Johnny Depp trial than are watching this. So I don't think it. I don't know if this really goes to the level of really being a distraction for most people. I feel like most people tonight are just kind of doing their own stuff, and then people that really care about the stuff that happened last year are like going to be watching it for more context, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, so far, guys, we're just patiently waiting to see if the shorts are going to try to really slam us down pretty hard. I have shorts open right now that I've had open for a while. I haven't really been opening up much shorts not in the last few days. But as soon as we break down below, I'm hoping to actually open up some more short positions here. I opened up one just for you guys a few days ago, just to say like, hey, if I just open up a short and I just leave it, over time I should be able to make money off of it. And I think what it was a 2x short, just to show you guys how small amounts of leverage can make you money if you just hold in a bear market and kind of go through those cycles there. You okay, dude? You're just happy as can be today. Yeah, just happy as can be. Um, and so far, that one is actually breaking even after all the pops that we've had. It's still even at this point in time, and that kind of shows you how holding can just kind of holding a short can usually help you as long as you're not freaking out about each little pop that Bitcoin has, because Bitcoin has had quite a few pops over the last few days to say the least. But every single time we have been getting slammed down. No, you want to take a bath? Bath? Want to take a bath? No, because I didn't think so. All right. There we go. It's the word that shall not be spoken in front of him, or he just kind of like looks at you like, what the heck? What the heck is going on here? Um, what's right here, very fast, guys. And hey, Tony. Hey, Michael. How are you, sir? Can you show us how to set up a paper trade on BitGet? Not really at this point in time. I need to have them refresh my account there. I should have done that a while ago. But basically, when you're doing a trade on BitGet, there's two different types of paper trading here. So there is strategic trading, and then there's what is that? Spot. Should I go to futures first? Okay. I don't usually. There you go. Now I can just go here. Uh, there you go. So two ways. You can go to futures and then type go over here to simulation futures, or you can just I guess hold over futures and then go to demo trading. I like to go to USTD demo, so it means I have USTD to trade basically. Um, all you're doing while you're on BitGet, maybe I should make a video like a tutorial kind of talking about this type of stuff as well for you guys. Give me a second here, man, because my head's going to be blocking the way, and I don't want that to happen before I start talking. There we go. So down here, it says all zeros because I was messing around and I just lost all my fake money here during a trade for you guys live a few weeks ago or months ago, actually. It's been a minute. But in order to make a trade here on any specific coin that you guys may be using, what you guys have to do is you'll see a cost value right here. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit more for you. There we go. Let me drag this over a little bit there. Cost value, you're going to determine the price you want to long it, and then you're going to have a leverage here. I'd recommend starting off with 1x leverage if you're new to futures trading and new to leverage in general. And then over time, I would try to move it up to 5x. And then you want to be seeing if you're making money consistently and how you're kind of turning out. And then just maybe if you're doing well there, then maybe you'd want to move it to 10x or maybe even all the way up to 20x. Anywhere above like 10 to 20x is something I'd say be very, very careful about. I wouldn't be investing a large amount of money if you're going to be doing that. But while paper trading, experiment to your heart's content. Just understand you want to be much more conservative when you actually have your own money up on the line. Right? So for this instance, let's say, adjust leverage multiplier is going to be 5. Okay. And then what you do is you want to talk about how much money you actually want to invest in that trade. Let's say for this instance, I wanted to do $1,000. Okay. Now, down below here, it'll show your cost. It'll be less than $1,000 because of the fees involved for trading here. And then if I had money in this fake account here, what I would do is I would hit buy as long as this price right here is above in the ask zone, right? You can just click on it, any price above it, and it'll actually do that right here. It'll just move it over there for you on the downward side and the upward side if you wanted to do that. And then what you'd be doing is just hitting buy and just watching the position kind of go up and down. And it's pretty easy after that. And then if you wanted to, you can go over here to open orders or order history or order details or fund record. And you can kind of go back in time and see how much fees you're spending on these particular trades. So you have an idea of how much money you're really going to be spending when you don't actually have to, when you're going to be using real capital. So it's a really easy process. There's also market orders and trigger orders. Trigger prices are pretty simple. You just say where you want to buy. If Bitcoin hits this price, you want to do an order, basically. Market order is to be executed at best price. I tend not to do market orders personally myself. The trade either goes through at the limit order I wanted or I don't, because sometimes when there's a lot of volatility on exchanges like KuCoin, BitGet, Femex, Binance, whatever, if there's a huge surge and everybody's buying up, you might get sucked into that if you're doing a market order, and instead of getting a good price where you think the line is going to be, it'll be vastly higher. Thereby, as soon as you open up the trade, you're down a lot because the price just went back down after the huge buying period went through, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's a simple process. One of the things I would say is I won't go into it too much now, but right here there's this little tab that says cross or isolated. Um, Bear with me here. During cross trading, it means under cross margin mode that utilizes the full amount of funds in the available balance to avoid liquidations. Any realized PL from other positions can aid in adding margin on a losing position. So this means if you have $100 trade with leverage, right, and it looks like you're losing money, and it looks like so, and you might be close to being liquidated. What that'll do is that'll use the available balance in your account, the one in this specific futures account, to help manage that, so it can keep the price. You can keep losing money without them liquidating you and you being kicked out of the position. Because as long as those gains aren't realized, then you still have an opportunity for the price to go up and do whatever you initially thought it was going to do, and then you can sell it and make the profit. But if you're forced to sell it too soon because you don't have enough money in your account to kind of cover that leverage, that's where you could see some problems happen. And that's why I normally tell you guys, if you're going to be using higher leverages, you guys want to be very careful not to overdo it to the point where, how do I say this? Where you're borrowing so much money from the exchange that as soon as it starts going down, things get really, really bad, and they're forced to liquidate you because you don't have enough money in your account. I say it every once in a while, but that's kind of the reason why. And then, so that kind of helps you out in that department. But sometimes, if you're sleeping and the price keeps on going down, well, that means you could lose a lot more money if you don't have a stop loss and stuff like that. So the other way to do it is isolated for margin. Under the isolated margin mode, your liability is limited to the initial margin posted. The margin that the position can lose is limited to the initial margin allocated to this position. The position gets liquidated when the initial margin drains up, but the remaining available margin will not be drawn to cover the loss. So this means if you have money over here and your coin or whatever goes kaput while you're holding it, none of the side money is put at risk. Only the money you initially invested in there is at risk. The downside to this, which you're gonna have to decide which one you want to do, is if the price starts going down and you've had too much leverage on it, like you have 100x leverage, something like that. If it starts going down too much, you could easily just get liquidated before your trade really even gets started. Before you even, that's why you gotta be careful with it. But you're gonna lose all that money, but you won't be losing any of this money over here, right? It depends on how you want to trade. Both are valid. People use both ways. Isolated is more conservative. I use cross because I don't really. I like to. I'm okay with my positions going down a lot. There is, yeah. It depends on how much you're willing to see your positions go down, though. But yeah, let me know how you like it. Oh, we just had a little bit of a move up here for Bitcoin. Let me know how you like it, and if you have any questions, I'll probably do a full on tutorial for BitGet for you guys later on, and maybe one for KuCoin. KuCoin's just so much more than BitGet right now, and I don't like that. KuCoin has so much stuff like I won't go into it now, but yeah. I wish KuCoin was more simplified, or they had a simplified version for new people. Because I feel like people that just get on KuCoin, they're overwhelmed by so many different things going on right there. Okay, but let me just so you guys know what's going on here. So people that are new to the stream can just kind of see what this line means. It's a major support level. That's basically it right there. Let me put that right there as well. There we go. A little bit of a nice move. Um, and hey, Perez, Terra Classic looking bullish today. Yeah, if you guys want to go play around with those coins, definitely do it. Just be very, very careful. I would say those are more day trades right now or long term shorts. I think of this Terra Luna thing as an opportunity to short that coin back down over time. But it's one of those things where you want to have, you want to be very, very careful about how you short that coin down. That thing is going to be a roller coaster for the next few weeks here. I would assume if Bitcoin crashes tomorrow because of a bad CPI report and the NASDAQ coming down as well, you could see, Luna C, the Luna Classic, and the Luna 2.0 also crashing down as well. But we'll have to wait and see if that actually does occur here. So far, guys, today the Bitcoin in the last hour and a half is down about only 0.62%, not much. You have some stuff like STMX down 2%, FTM down 1. Most everything else is not down too bad. ApeCoin's down about 2%. ADA is down 1.5%. ADA is something I'm thinking of opening a short before I go to bed here tonight. And the main reason here is find it. We don't need this one right here. Um, ADA had a strong pop off, unlike a lot of other coins. from the lows we experienced off of that crash up to where we are now, it's up 54%. So I think as we come to test out the support level again here, the weekly chart looks a little bit better as far as these Fibonacci levels are concerned. Like, see, held, well, held before crashing, I guess you would say. Um, I think this would be a good shorting opportunity for me personally. I just want to make sure that the CPI data tomorrow is really, really bad. So I'm wondering if I should buy this or open a short position tonight as we're getting rejected by the 50-day moving average. Or should I just wait till tomorrow to double check that the market is actually going to have the perceived effect after the CPI data? So I'll probably take a short around 62 cents here and as an entry position before I go to bed with a 65-cent stop loss or something like that, maybe a 67-cent stop loss. So probably my plan for that one. The things I want to short if we do make a move down, guys, are the coins that had the best rebounds over the last month as we've been kind of consolidating here. So this is the day chart. It's been about 29 days here, so it makes it really easy to go over here to coinmarketcap.com and see which coins are up the most in the last 30 days. KuCoin token is up 13%, Link is up 5%, Tron is up 3%. And so I don't even know where ADA is actually on this list here. Where's ADA? Let me just go back here to coin. ADA is only up. Oh, it's only down about 2%. I don't know what metric they're using here. Maybe it's 30 days. If I go 30 days, is it really that much different? I guess over here, yeah, that's why. So tomorrow it'll be easier to kind of see that what's happening on there. But I don't know if I can actually adjust this to an actual last 29 days. I doubt they give me that ability here. Percent change. Does it tell me? No, it doesn't tell me what time period it would be in. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so I'm looking at stuff like 88 to really short down quite a bit. It looks like Link also had a good time. Link's actually positive today as well. So yeah, this is breaking above its 50-day moving average. This would be a good opportunity for me as well to short this down as long as Bitcoin comes down. As long as Bitcoin comes down. I don't want to be messing this up here and shorting as something that continues to go up here, probably up to the resistance of around $10.65 for Link here if Bitcoin doesn't do anything bad tomorrow. There you go. But those are the coins I'm going to be looking to get make some money off of here later on. But so far tonight, again, I'll make that same thing I told you guys a few minutes ago or a few days ago. If you guys want to be buying at support with a very short stop loss for some type of day trade later on, this is going to be your opportunity again. With a caveat, there is more risk this time because CPI data does come out tomorrow morning, 8:30 Eastern time. Whatever that means to you, that's when it's going to be coming out. Let's see. And hey, Omar, even your dog knows about inflation. Baby said no bath. Yeah, yeah, Michael, definitely. He doesn't like him. So if I try to give him, you know what, he's right next to me, so I'm not gonna say it. He will run and run fast away because he doesn't like the going in there with the little spray things or anything like that. What he will let me do though is I bought him a outdoor pool, and I will fill the outdoor pool with water. This is yeah, or you guys can't even see me anymore. I'm sorry, I totally forgot I was explaining that other stuff, and so you guys can see me. But I had that. I have one of those, bigger pools. You know, not massive. I couldn't fit in it. But it's meant for dogs. And basically, I filled up with water, and then he'll play and splash in that one, and then I can give him a you know what, and that works out fine. But for whatever reason, he doesn't like being in the actual tub. So I made an adjustment for him. Very easy, nice baby soap and everything, and we get him all clustered out, all the fur off of him. Nice. It's what we're planning to do this weekend if it's not going to be a freaking rainstorm here, which I don't know if it's going to be a rainstorm or not. Um, and hey, Monica, can I have your opinion on FTNT puts? I bought some today at 307. My logic was that the market was down, but FNT was up, hoping it will catch eventually. Plus, it's hitting the 200 MA and 50 MA resistance. Yeah, so FTNT is one of my favorite stocks of last year. Like one of my favorite because I just kind of bought call after call after call on it. Kind of more risky, something to play for me last year because it just kept on coming up. But let me just open up the NASDAQ chart and use that as an example here. There we go. And now I can go to, do I have FTNT on this actual chart that I'm looking at for you guys? No. Um, I know not all of you guys are members here, but take a look at MU for tomorrow. Um, could finish off the week with a really nice little bounce before we go over talking with this one. Not seeming out of bounce, a crash, so we're at a major level of support. If we start breaking down below this, could be a big thing here. But let me find FTNT here for you. No, there you go. And this is why I liked it. This is a weekly chart. This thing has just been chugging up for a while, and it definitely loves to chug here. So one of the things I have been looking at this one as well, it is seeing a little bit of resistance with the 20-week moving average and the 50-week moving average here as well. And then as you go into the day chart, it is having some resistance right now with the 50-day moving average. Now, did we close above this today or not? Oh, wow, I can't actually tell. So today we closed at $312.03. So, all right, now let me get rid of this here so I can see what the actual price was today. $303.43 for the moving average. So we did not close above it here. So we came very, very close. All right. So let me see what I can find here as far as these moves are concerned. This is daily chart. It does look weak. Um, the trend line's not gonna, yeah, it's not gonna really help you here at all. What I'd be hoping for going forward is that it finds some level of resistance. But what would that level of resistance really be at this point? Probably best to take this off and this off, and then trying to think of where I can actually find a some type of place to put a little bit of a pivot, but I don't see too many good spots for it right now because this one has been kind of more choppy. There you go. All right, so you did run into number one here today, even though I got rejected down from it. Let's go over to the 15-minute chart. Oh, okay, I got to redo this now. Yeah, that'll help out a little bit. Yeah, it reached up to one, got rejected down from it. It still has higher lows here. So what you're really banking on tomorrow, Monica, is not so much that the technicals really get worse, as that although we did have a little bit of a bad day today as far as getting rejected. You're really going to be waiting to see if the CPI numbers really cause a breakdown out of this general trend here. So this little bit of an uptrend, that's the trend you're going to be trying to break down below. And then from there, you're going to have to get this off of your screen and then worry about any potential levels where we may find some type of support. The first one being around 294. That one's pretty realistic as a small pivot opportunity there. If we break down that one with pretty good steam, then it's looking at about $283, which is not. It's very easy for this particular stock to do because of how volatile it's been over the past few days. Just look at this. This is a 15-minute chart as well, but just through these 31 days, it's up like 30%, while everything else is not up 30% for the last 30 days, of course. So I think you could see some volatility. I think puts is probably the right call here. You're going to have to wait to see what happens with the CPI numbers, of course, but don't. Maybe I have to go to a 1 hour chart. Be careful of how long you want to hold these puts. Usually, when this thing finds a bottom, buyers are always ready to launch this sucker back up. I don't know why that's the case. I think this is because people like this for a long-term hold and they're trying to find those buying opportunities. But after this reaches a little bit of a dip, it's only down there for like a day or two, and then it likes to have a nice solid reversal, which is something that's been happening for the past few months here. So just be aware of that. But it looks fine to me. You're just waiting for the CPI data to really crash this down and break this down below this trend, hoping that over the next by next Friday, if things really start to look really bad for this particular stock, that we're coming down around 285 levels from 303, which we are now. That could be a really good opportunity to make some good money there. But CPI numbers are going to be crucial. Luckily, you bought some puts today in kind of anticipation of that, so you're not going to have to race and scramble to buy puts tomorrow that are more expensive. Also, bringing on the more gamble that maybe the CPI numbers won't be that bad, but come on, they seem like they're going to be pretty bad right now, right? How do I see the SEC changes and the Robinhood news? I haven't seen any new news about the SEC. Is there any news about the SEC? No, not SEC. Not signed into my Chase account. Uh, News. Let me read it over very fast. I hate when they have those little ad blocker things. U.S. United States SEC Chief Gary Gensler unveils plan to overhaul Wall Street stock trading. Let me just read it down here. I don't normally like this guy too much. He seems to be a pretty crook through and through, but let's see how it goes. The top U.S. securities regulator on Wednesday proposed rule changes to transform how Wall Street handles retail stock trades after the meme stock mania last year raised questions about whether mom and pop investors were getting the best price. This is actually good so far. Robinhood does not give you the best price on the market. Another reason I don't really use them too much, they inflate the price a little bit so that they make a buck out of it, right? Uh, so the plan would require trading firms to directly compete to execute trades from retail investors to boost competition. That's good. The Wall Street Watchdog plans to scrutinize the controversial payment for order flow practice, which in some brokers like TD Ameritrade, Robinhood Markets, and E-Trade are paid by wholesale market makers for orders. Yeah, that's true. TD Ameritrade does it too, right? Everybody does it, but just to varying degrees. I asked staff to take a holistic, cross-market view of how we could update our rules and regulations. This overall seems fine. This seems fine. I think what it'll mean though is that these companies will have to find other ways to raise revenue, which will be kind of interesting to see how it all plans out. Um, for me, that trades on TD Ameritrade, and I've been using them for years. I don't really see too much of a concern for me as a trader on their platform. If I was on Robinhood, or Webull, I actually might be a little bit more concerned because Robinhood is having financial issues right now about how to make a profit off of their app. They're not really doing a good job at that, and you've seen their stock price plummet because of it. I would I would be worried that they're going to try to increase the prices for some other type of good. I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll have to see how it all pans out. That news, not too bad. And you also talked about some news here as far as Robinhood. Or is this kind of related to Robinhood as well? This isn't going to be good to Robinhood. I don't know if I could see Hood today. Excuse me. It's down another 4% today after another 4% yesterday. So it's down to about $8 or so. Yeah, it did not like the news today. I can tell you that. The way they make money is definitely looking more and more in danger here, unfortunately. So Robinhood as an investment is probably going to be a good long term investment, but in the short term, they have a lot of things they need to work out. And again, I think they need to fire their CEO Vlad and get somebody in there that really knows how to drive a profit, whatever that profit needs to be from a investor relations standpoint, right? Market cap just a couple weeks ago was like $10 billion. We were talking about maybe Elon Musk wants to buy it for fun. The market cap right now sits at $7.41 billion. The market cap is going down quite fast, which means that there may be an opportunity for Robinhood to be bought out by some other entity out there, whether it's a major bank or something, whatever it may be, and then only then may they be able to actually turn a profit or enough of a profit. I would be surprised if there's not some type of offer to buy Robinhood over the next 12 to 24 months. I would say closer to 12 months, but I'd be very surprised if there was not an offer to buy Robinhood later on. They've been selling off tons of stock, selling off like millions of dollars worth of it. Meanwhile, the net income is down about like what 2.6 million or maybe 2.6 billion. I'm not entirely sure. No, not 2 billion. I don't know. But yeah, they're not making money because they don't have a way to actually profit. They've done Robinhood Gold and stuff like that, but again, oh, that scared me. That loud noise. Stop biting stuff you're not supposed to bite. Um, Robinhood. How do I do this? Robinhood Gold. It's $5. Watching you. It's $5 a month. You get in-depth research and analysis. You get that for free on other exchanges. up to $50,000 of instant deposits. Um, I don't think instant deposits are something you really need to care about. If you're freaking out because you can't get money into your account that day, you're not trading the right way. Um, Invest on margin. Nobody else cares about margin fees like this. 3.5%. That's higher than crypto exchanges. A lot higher than crypto exchanges. And level two market data. That's free from all other exchanges. So you're not really getting anything. And until they can make a value for their company, I don't see anything good happening from them from a stock perspective. I'm still buying Robinhood for long-term holdings. Don't get me wrong. I'm buying in anticipation of a buyout or a reversal of fortune if they were to fire their head CEO, Vlad. That's what I'm hoping for. But I don't know if they are going to be able to do that in the foreseeable future. I really don't know. Um, and hey, Will Jack, happy to see you. Uh, why? Well, Jack, Jack, you're a moderator. I know you're a moderator. Why don't you not have a wrench? Okay, I gave you a wrench again, Will Jack. Um, let's see. And hey, Omar, I'm sorry, my friend. It's not going to cash. Okay. Let's see. And hey, Michael, you're not up on the screen. I know, yeah, guys. I just figured that out a little bit ago. I appreciate that. Um, And hey, Corinda, CPI data comes out tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. Pacific time, 8:30 a.m. 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Let me do something very fast, guys. I'm gonna go into the Bluetooth of the camera that's watching me right now, and I feel like I need to raise my brightness up a little bit. I don't know why. I feel like the let's go here. ISO is up to 5,000, 6,400, 10,000, 8,000. No, I think the blue light is kind of weird off of it. Maybe adjust the shutter a little bit. No. Oh well. I love being able to mess with the camera because it's so expensive, but I still have to figure out how to use it a little bit better. All right. And hey, Crypto Beehive, did I hear that XRP might become a stock? I did not hear that actually. I did not hear that at all. I wouldn't buy it, but it'd be kind of fun to see how it turns out. Maybe. Yeah, I don't like that for XRP because then they have to have earnings reports. They have to put out earnings reports every quarter. And if they're not making money, that's going to drive XRP's price down quite a bit. If their stock price is crashing, that's going to hurt them quite a bit here. Um, Unless they know they can have solid earnings reports quarter after quarter after quarter to help drive their crypto price and their stock price, then they can make twice as much money. That might be kind of interesting, but I'd be very, very careful about them actually opening up a stock on one of the major exchanges. That'd be very interesting to watch and see how it plays out. Let's see. And hey, no limit, it's Remy, New York City Chicken. Hey, happy to see you back as well, my man. And hey, General Brennan, I probably be homeless soon. To shake my head, but I am in New York City. Don't be afraid to move, guys. I've had a lot of friends that moved out of San Francisco, L.A., Seattle. Like I moved out of Seattle. There was no reason to be paying those high prices of living. My gosh, it is expensive. I was paying over $3,000 a month just to live in a freaking apartment that was like 1,200 square feet. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it, guys. The lifestyle is pretty much fun. I get that with all the parties and the clubs and stuff and the bars. Cool. I'm okay to take a $20 Uber to get downtown to go drink a bunch, then take like a $50 Uber with a surge coming back home, and then just pass out in my own bed without having to worry about without my bed costing me like 3,000 bucks a month. A month. Um, and hey, Monica, thank you. No worries, guys. I'm always happy to help you guys out. Let's take a quick peek to see what's going on over here because Ethereum also was something we've been watching over the past few days, right? So we're kind of watching this little bit of a pennant, and then we're also watching this GAN fan level right here, a big, big one that stopped us during our last crash here. Um, Now we got Dogecoin. Dogecoin is looking a little bit more bearish. You're kind of slagging down here slowly. We got a support level of around 0.0689. We'll see how that holds up during a potential crash. Has been having trouble stay above the 20-day moving average, though. That's a surprise. So we got Ethereum over here. This is old technical. We don't got to worry about it too much here. Probably best to go on the weekly. Yeah. So Ethereum broke down below its Fibonacci level a few weeks ago here, and we haven't been able to close back above that so far. And it looks like we're just slowly teetering down here. But if I move this level of support down just a little bit more, you can see we have a level of support. Let's just call it around $1,700. If we were to break down below that, I do think you would see some really bad moves for the entire market. There's a lot of times where Bitcoin leads the way down for all coins. And there are times where Bitcoin is led by Ethereum, as weird as that sounds. Sometimes Ethereum will break down one day before Bitcoin, and that gives us a little bit of a heads up saying, whoa, 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 some bad stuff can happen here. Now, of course, everybody's kind of waiting to see what happens with the CPI data tomorrow morning. That will be very, very fun to trade. If the news is very, very bad, it really affect how we see the Federal Reserve, raising interest rates and stuff like that. Let me see. Yeah, Ethereum at the $1,700 level, that's going to be crucial. If we break down below that, it's time to start watching for a potential crash. ADA, we talked about this one, held Fibonacci support pretty darn well, guys, like very, very well. I'm going to probably try to short this down if we have bad CPI numbers tomorrow. Ethereum Classic broke down here a few weeks ago or last week, and now we see it starting to finally teeter back down after a small breakout. Here's the 4-hour chart so you guys can see it. Uptrend, breakdown, short the breakdown, and so far it's been a pretty respectable short here. Let me go to the day charts here. XRP looks a lot like Bitcoin, not really doing too much right now. I'm fine with that. STMX, still nothing really crazy there. Sheeb, kind of like Dogecoin. FTM, not really much there. I'm only going to point to stuff if it's like actually different than everything else. Litecoin here looking much more bearish. Guys, I feel really bad for Litecoin. It had an opportunity to really do something really great over the last few years, and it just, it just hasn't done anything. It's just kind of trading sideways with some nice little pumps every now and again. But, as I zoom out here, this is 2018, 2017, at the end of 2017, the beginning of 2018. All other coins since 2018 are way up here. Litecoin holders, and this must be very disappointing the way this has been performing over the past few quarters, of course, but maybe they can turn it around over time and really get this thing fixed up. If you're looking to buy a Litecoin, I'd really just wait to see if we have some type of breakout above this trend line here. This white one I'm sitting on the screen. And maybe we'll see something good happen out of that. Until then, this is just going to be something of a pain, or you want to time it to what Bitcoin's doing. AXS, definitely down quite a bit here. Teetering down a little bit right now as well. So you're just seeing some people panic a little bit, sell off. Nothing too crazy. Link, good short opportunity coming up here if the CPI data is really bad. I'll be watching it pretty closely, but I wanted to see it actually. Well, let me see if it actually did reach it here or not. No, I was thinking it might actually hit this 1.618 level for the Fibonacci extension tool. We ran into the one, hit resistance, 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 resistance. It's been a pretty good solid level of resistance here, and I was hoping I could open a short kind of up here. If I could just click on that little logo thing right there. Patiently waiting, just patiently waiting for that to happen. Bitcoin Cash, teetering, nothing crazy there. Crow, teetering, hoping to hold a level of support here, probably around 15.5 cents. Dot, not much going on there. Doge, Elon coming down a little bit harder than everything else. Anything else here? Apecoin. Apecoin's at support. This could be a really fun thing to short as well, guys. This thing popped up so high that it's technically kind of like in a new low territory. So, as things get really, really bad here, I could see Apecoin being a really nice short, as it will most likely come back down here whenever Bitcoin does start heading back down to the 200 weekly moving average. This could be going well down below $3.55, but I would be happy to try to short it from one Fibonacci level to the next, bringing me a profit of about like 32% with like a 10x leverage. That's a few 100% right there, with probably a good 5% stop loss, which means like 5 times 10, like a 50% loss potentially, but with a potential to make 350% loss gains. I would love that. Okay, ICP. Oh boy, guys, this thing it's getting close to another all-time low. It's just what it does at this point in time. However, if Bitcoin does break down, I want to let you guys know. I'll make a special members for the videos telling them exactly when the bottom is here. when this finds a bottom, it loves to rip back up after when we're in the middle of a crash. Usually, if you buy the day of the crash anywhere down here, like forget the day that things really get bad. But let's say you just buy the bottom here the day before another potential drop, and you just hold for 2 days, you can be up like 24% in this circumstance. In this circumstance here, new all-time lows, 21%. That was an all-time lows here. New all-time lows here. Let's just say you bought somewhere around here. 54%. This thing is beautiful, absolutely fantastic for buying during a crash and seeing a huge level of buying into this coin, specifically right after that. Don't know why it happens, but it's usually a pretty good solid play if you want to be buying something without much leverage and making a good amount of return on that investment, just so you guys know. Luna, I mean, gosh, guys, Luna has just been doing its own thing here. I thought I might try to trade in some type of weird channel. This thing's doing its own thing at the moment in time. We don't need this line because we kind of had a little fake out there. But as far as I see right now, let's go over to the 4-hour chart. We bounced back up looking for an opportunity to break out. I could see Luna being a really fun play over the next few days as long as we don't get rejected by the 20-day moving average here, or see the 20 moving average on the 4-hour chart, or that white trend line you guys are seeing on your chart right now. This could be good little fun to trade with. Just remember, when you're playing with coins this volatile, you're not going to be investing as much money as you think you should be investing, and you guys are going to be treating this more as a casino run instead of actually like, wow, I'm a really good trader because I made money off of Luna. Don't think of it like that way. Think of this being a lot of fun to be trading, and it's kind of a game. Don't think of this as like, I'm using technical analysis. I'm looking at everything possible to see what's going to make this thing boom up and boom down. It's not going to work with a coin that's having this much crazy news, because I think over the next few days, there was a report that Do Kwon was like taking like $80 million a month, pocketing it off of Luna, and that may open him up to a lawsuit somewhere here in either America or South Korea. It'll be interesting to see if anything bad happens, but it does seem like there is some really shady stuff going on there, or he wasn't as open as he should have been. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. All right, as far as mana is concerned, back to the daily chart. Had a nice little boom back up here. Something else I want to be shorting. Well, in fact, I already have a short about this at $1.10. And I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens here next. This is one of the few coins, altcoins specifically, that I actually have a position open on. This and Sand here as well. And you see Sand's up a little bit as well, but not like nearly as much as Mana, of course. But yeah, waiting to see if this thing falls down over here the next few days. You can see so far, since we added this little bit of a fib level, it's been okay. It's been decently reliable, not the best. But now that we're breaking down below it again, I'm hoping that with the CPI data coming out tomorrow, we may find our way back down to $1.21 or $1.14 over the next few days going into the weekend here. Anything else? Sol looks bad because everybody's worried about it, so to speak, because of all the bad news coming out. If we break down below this level, oh boy, I'm probably going to start shorting this down, because I would assume that somebody's going to try to attack this like they attacked Luna and UST to really cause some panic in whatever areas that they're struggling with on their server side. So I think it would be more of an attack on their infrastructure, leading to them having to say, oh my god, something bad is happening. We're going to fix it, guys. But in that time frame, Sol could be crashing, and making people that have shorts open in it a lot of money. XLM, nothing too crazy here, but it doesn't have the typical little move that you would be expecting. Had a little bit of a pop like in the middle of the last 28 days or so. I want to short this thing probably tonight, kind of with a 5% stop loss probably, yeah, to see if we can get a good solid move breaking down below the 20-day moving average here, and that's my goal for this one in particular. UST, I don't know why we talk about this, but it's still at 3 cents or so. And Luna C here, similar to Luna as far as having a little bit of a pump going on right now. Really nice to see some fun coins like this making some interesting news today. Oh, there we go. And again, we're pretty darn close to a breakdown, guys. We're about currently 1.36% or $400 away from breaking down as far as Bitcoin's concerned. If you guys wanted to buy right now and play the bounce off of a level of support, you guys want to have about a 1.5 to 2% stop loss on your investments here, or 1 to 2% stop loss. That way, if we continue to move down, you're not going to be stopped out. And then if we have another big rally like we've had over the last few weeks, tap, go up, got close, went up here, moved up here, maybe move up here. That'll be the opportunity for you to buy some up here if you guys really wanted to. Just be careful with the CPI data coming out tomorrow. We were hoping that we might have a golden cross over the last few days with the 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart and the 200 moving average. Like, even to this day, they still haven't crossed. So we're not getting that bullish signal that says, hey, 4-hour chart looks golden, buy, go. And maybe overnight we may have even a little bit of a fake out coming out for us, bouncing off a support level, if maybe anticipating that the CPI data will not be as good as, not be good, basically, right? There we go as well. Is that the best? There we go. Okay. Was wondering where my RSI went. There we go. All right. And hey, Ghost Rider, welcome back. Happy to see you again. Might hike the Appalachian Trail down the floor. That sounds actually really nice and relaxing. I don't know if I could do the humidity, but it does sound nice. Uh, and hey, Dollar Doge, I can see everything slowly going up in a few months or so. Yeah, once people have faith that the Federal Reserve is going to be able to curb inflation, that's what's going to be needed. Because right now, the problem is that there's a fear that people are going to start getting laid off even more and more and more, right? And I think even today, let's see if I can find this for you guys. News. Oh man. Bloomberg. Here we go. So, U.S. jobless claims rise by most since July during holiday week. So, jumped to $229,000, exceeding all estimates. So, it's not, we're not at a bad level by any stretch of the imagination yet, but you are starting to see people think about, can I get laid off? And a good example of this may be Target. So, you're hearing that Target has a whole bunch of extra supply right now. They have so much stuff because nobody's buying anything. And so what they're doing is, of course, putting stuff on sale so they can get purchases. Well, if they're putting stuff on sale, that means that their overall margins are being squished, right? And if their overall margins are being squished, they have to find a way to stop spending so much money on something else. Well, we have a few too many employees, don't you think? Maybe we should just let them go temporarily, or let them go, and then we'll have work, and then we should be fine. We can sell that to our shareholders during the next earnings report, basically. So, and if they get laid off, they're not going to have money to go spend on other stuff, and this cycle will just get worse and worse. And that's kind of how recessions generally start here. That's the big concern for a lot of people right now, like me, who are watching the market like a hawk. We see the Federal Reserve cracking down, but we also see the fact that there are a lot of businesses out there that are saying, hey, our margins are getting worse. Our margins are getting worse. We have to find some way to cut back on cost. And an easy way to cut back on cost is to fire employees or lay them off politely, right? So, and then the spiral effect continues as they can't spend money on stuff they want, and it just hurts everybody going down more and more and more. We don't want to start that cycle, but it seems like we are starting that cycle right now. We'll see over the next few months if we can just kind of reverse it, because it's not too late, right? We'll see if we can reverse it and then try to go back onto this nice gravy train of making lots and lots of money very, very easily in the stock market and the crypto markets. If at this point in time, nobody knows for sure, or not many people have confidence that Jerome Powell is going to be able to do the job correctly, because inflation continues to get worse and worse and worse. And a lot of the inflation that we're seeing right now is not so much of what you might think. It's mostly just about gas, and gas driving up the prices for everybody to buy everything, right? So if I get something from China, it's made in China using gas, most likely. It's shipped to the port using gas. It's taken from the port to port, let's say the Seattle port, using fuel. Then from there, it goes on a truck to a manufacturing hub with fuel. Then from there, it goes to another manufacturing hub owned by the particular store, like a Walmart or something, that uses fuel. And then from there, what it'll do is go to another, it'll go to the store using fuel. And then you got to get there using fuel. And the process just gets worse and worse from there, right? So, I even think today, guys, we saw that the price of gas jumped up even again. Here. Here we go. This is what the news that uses, I think. Um, Today's AAA national average is $4.97. By this weekend, it could hit $5. So, it's not good by any stretch of the imagination. Over here in Washington, the average is $5.51. Oregon, $5.50. California, $6.40. Idaho, people don't think of Idaho being a very blue liberal state, of course. $5. Utah, 5. Nevada, 5.58. Arizona, 5.26. Texas, 4.62. I know that seems pretty extreme, but like Texas shouldn't have gas that costs $4.62. The friends I have in Texas are like, what the heck? It was at $1 a while ago. New Mexico, $4.80. Middle of the country, $4.50 basically. Florida, $4.70. Michigan, $5.20. Indiana, $5.20. Illinois, $5.55. So we've seen some really, really high gas prices. You're not the only one paying these high gas prices. Manufacturing businesses, they all have to pay it, and they're going to get squeezed. And when a business gets squeezed, the easiest thing they can do is lay off employees. We saw Netflix getting ready to lay off employees. Let me just type in here. Layoffs. I can find any companies easily. Um, Stitch Fix, I guess today, announces layoffs, offers weak guidance. Oh, it's laying off 15% of its salaried workers, or about 330 people. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but this is where it normally starts. Okay, so 15% of its salaried. That's a lot for a company. That's a lot. I don't want to actually dive into Stitch Fix here. I used to love getting their stuff until they got really crazy expensive, and that's me saying they got expensive. They got some really good clothes. Let's see. So these 10 companies recently said layoffs. So Netflix, Meta, Coinbase, Tesla, Canva, Uber, PayPal, layoffs, layoffs, layoffs. It's starting off small, and people usually don't care too much about salaried workers getting laid off, and I think that's probably fine. But it starts off with salaried employees, and then it starts moving to ground level employees, bit by bit by bit, and you'll see it trickle down. It'll be interesting to see how this pans out, but guys, the economy is not in a good shape. It's just not for now. We'll worry about it later on as far as getting back up into good standing, of course. But we gotta all hope. I don't really agree with the Federal Reserve too much as far as Jerome Powell, but I really do hope he knows what he's doing, and I really do hope he's able to really turn this around, because if he can do a good job in turning the economy around too, or at least the inflation around, that's good for everybody in America and a lot of people around the world too. But if he fails, that will be his reputation to the end of times until he, passes away years from now. That's gonna be his legacy, and I think he understands this, and I think that's why he's putting effort into this at this moment in time. And China's CPI is 2.1%. Oh wow, that's nothing at all. And what's right here? Um, why does this S&P affect Bitcoin if it's supposed to be an inflation hedge? Bitcoin is not an inflation hedge. I know people would say it is. I have not seen Bitcoin perform like an inflation hedge. I just have not. If it was acting as an inflation hedge, I'd be the first one to say, yeah, Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation. I haven't seen it. I just have not seen it. What Bitcoin normally follows is the Nasdaq, not the S&P 500. Normally the Nasdaq. Okay, it trades like a tech stock. I don't like it. I've been ranting about it for the past few months now, or more than that now. But it's just the way it is here. But yeah, it's not an inflation hedge. Don't think about it as an inflation hedge. Think about Bitcoin being its own thing, now being influenced a little bit more by the actual stock market, more important than NASDAQ, okay? It's unfortunate, but yeah, Bitcoin is not a hedge against inflation. I haven't seen that perform out that way so far. Yeah, I could even see if America, I don't think it's going to happen, but if we went into hyperinflation type of stuff, I think Bitcoin would be crashing during that period of time as well. just like I would assume the stock market's crashing during that period of time as well. I don't see Bitcoin as an inflationary hedge at all. Let's see. And here you go. When the death cross will pass more or less, the death cross's effects aren't really hurting us too much at this point in time. What I'd be more interested in for Bitcoin here as we kind of watch it continue to have a little bit of a rally after hitting some lows close to the support level. Probably best to go. We don't have enough data on this one. This Bitcoin chart. There we go. Will this work out so far? Yeah. Uh, the death cross we saw from Bitcoin when I was warning you guys about it. I mean, when did I actually warn you guys about it? I warned you guys way over here. What, February? Oh, geez. We had the death cross. We had the fake out here where we hit the resistance level from this flag that we were talking about. And the ascending triangle, actually, that we were talking about here that we broke out above. But as soon as we had the death cross, things really started to look pretty pessimistic really, really fast. We could always run back into the 20-week moving average. That's not unheard of by any stretch of the imagination here. It's just that the CPI data and the traditional stock markets are really dragging us down at this point in time, which is leading to a lot of frustration and a lack of buyers in the current crypto market, unless people are actually trading, not really buying for the long term right here, because they're all anticipating a move back down to the 200 weekly moving average down here, like we do every single time we get into a really bad market, right? So that's kind of the concern that most people have right now as far as why should I buy now if we're most likely just going to come all the way back down here. I'm still buying, frankly, you guys know that, every single day, even before we hit these levels, but I'm going to be more inclined to start buying heavily once, like I said, we break down below the 200 EMA here. 200 EMA. When we're down below that, that's usually a good buying opportunity. Use this as a level of resistance, and the 200 SMA as a level of support. Usually works out pretty well, but so far we haven't actually broken down below the 200 EMA here. I'll be watching closely to see if we are able to do that. But I don't see any more death crosses here as far as anything else. Monthly chart, we're not looking at a death cross anytime soon. It's still going up quite well. On the daily here, the 20 is well below the 50. The 50 is well down below the 200. No death crosses coming anywhere here anytime soon. We'd actually have to have a golden cross here before a death cross would be a concern. And then on the weekly chart, maybe over the next few months, we may have the 20-week moving average coming down below the 200 EMA, but those aren't even the same type of moving average, so I wouldn't put much stock into that. See, like it happened over here, but nothing happened, right? So, but yeah, back over here, Bitcoin one. There you go. Bitcoin's coming back up a little bit now. So I don't know if you guys took the buying opportunity, but we'll have to see how it all pans out here. Let's see. And hey, Ghost, what levels am I looking at for MU? As far as MU is concerned, let me just pull it up right here. There we go. So we have the support level that we've been watching as far as I'm thinking of buying some puts here if we don't bounce, kind of leading into bad CPI numbers, of course, for tomorrow. But let me just make sure I have the exact line here just because I'm talking to you guys right now. $65.67. If we break down below that tomorrow, or if it looks like we are, I will most likely open up a put position around the $60 strike price, and probably won't be expecting it to hit that low, but I'll probably start scaling around $63 perhaps if I can, and make a quick buck off of this one. But this one's consolidated, like support, found support over here. The moment we start breaking down, I'm going to be very excited to open up some puts on this one. But again, this is the level is $65.67 here. And then maybe we might have to work at, there's a little bit of support around here, around $64. That's what I'm kind of worried about. But I think overall, we should have a pretty sizable move down. And I don't think it's going to matter so much about what happens here. I'll be more interested to see, is this no, this is the NASDAQ one, so it doesn't have all the technical analysis I normally would have on it. Let's just not worry about that for now. Let's see if I can just build a cluster here very fast. Cluster. Okay. I, and so you see there's a lot of Fibonacci support levels on here. It's my only concern. But I think with bad CPI numbers and the market just kind of having a really rough time going forward, I think I could get the price of MU could go down to about $62, something like that. Maybe even as far as 60. I'd be hoping that sometime next week we have one of these really, really bad days like we had over the past few months where people are all out panicking. There's talk of a recession. There's another big drop off in the market. That's what I'm hoping for to happen next week. And I'm hoping I can buy into that tomorrow if the CPI data is bad, leading us to a really, a bad next week here, if that makes sense. That's what I'm hoping for at least. But again, that support level that I'm looking at right now is $65.67. Just hoping that these Fibonacci levels don't mess up the plan too much, because there is going to be an opportunity for a pivot point here. Whether we take it or whether there's so much downward force that we were able to just kind of go down slowly. I'm hoping we can kind of grind down here. Kind of like how we had these clusters here. So yeah, we had a cluster. We still kept on going down because the market was just not having anything good going on for it. What's right here a little bit as well, guys. And hey, Jake, if it's not a hedge and it follows the Nasdaq, then what value does Bitcoin provide? Oh boy, I mean, eventually it will differ. It'll move off of the Nasdaq and just kind of go off on its own little whoosh, little altcoin season type stuff. But for now, Bitcoin's value is in the fact that people want to use the blockchain. I think that's like a perceived value. In fact, that's probably about it. Um, yeah, I still own Bitcoin. I don't care. I know it's going to make me money in the long term. You know, um, it's unfortunate. Yeah. Um, And hey, JB, so you're expecting some blood in the streets tomorrow? If the CPI data is bad, and it looks like it should be, I will be surprised if the CPI data tomorrow is good, guys. I will be very, very surprised about that. I mean, like, I don't know if there's a... Oh, somebody's buying up a little bit of Bitcoin here. I mean, this is a minute chart, so don't give it much weight here. But let's see if we can find something on the CNBC. Stock futures rise slightly ahead of the Friday's key inflation report. All right. So, let me see. So, economists surveyed by the Dow Jones are expecting a year-over-year increase of 8.3% for the main index and 5.9% for the core index, which excludes food and energy prices. I don't know how you can exclude those things going on right now. But if the report matches expectations or shows slower gains, then Wall Street could take it as a sign that inflation may have peaked and that the Federal Reserve may need to be less aggressive later on in the year. Less chance of a recession in the future. That would be the good sign coming out of this. Um, Anything else here? No, okay. A whole bunch of jumbo talk. And right here, consumer price inflation in May expected to run sizzling hot as energy, food, and rent rose. Everything's going up, of course. Economists are, high energy prices are driving the headline and continuing to ignite the debate about whether inflation has peaked. I wish I could show you guys this type of video stuff, but you can watch it later on on YouTube. Uh, uh, let's see. No, anything else here? So, economists expect to see some cooling in core inflation, meaning the measure with energy and food excluded. Core CPI is expected to rise 0.5% or 5.9% year over year, according to the Dow Jones. That compares to zero point 0.6 in April or 6.2% on a year over year basis. And then it shows some people at Walmart. I think that's a Walmart. Looks like a Walmart. Yeah, they look like they were in Walmart. It's a very disquieting number. It's going to reorganize concerns about how has inflation peaked, says Mark Zandi, chief economist at Moody's Analytics. So basically, we're waiting to see how bad things are going to get. If overall inflation is bad and core inflation isn't as bad, I don't think it's going to cause too. I think it's still going to be very, very bad. I don't think core inflation is going to have too much of an effect on what we see tomorrow. But again, I'll be live tomorrow morning at 5. Let's say 5 o'clock in the morning my time, so that's 8 o'clock Eastern time, and I'll be here so we can kind of watch the CPI data come out as it live, and then I'll play it on CNBC, and I'll pull up the video there, and we can see what the CPI data is, if it's good, bad, and it'll have a small little screen like you can see me right here. I'll have a screen kind of right here in the corner showing, I forget the guy's name, Santelli, give us the explanation of what's going on, and then after he's done, I'll mute the video and turn it off, and then we'll watch Bitcoin's price as well as Nasdaq's price and the traditional markets, kind of seeing what's happening at that time. Are we crashing? Are we booming? Is it good news? Is it bad news? How is this going to affect the market going forward? And we'll have fun with it, right? I mean, there's still a chance, no matter how small, that even if the CPI data is very, very hot and very, very bad, maybe that means that like there's still a chance that Bitcoin won't crash. I know it's kind of weird to say that because everything says it will if with this bad CPI numbers. There's always a weird chance that Bitcoin doesn't do anything. Not a high chance, but I just let you guys know every single time that there's a chance. And what's right here? Hey guys, can I look at the BRQS stock and tell me what caused the massive pump and dump today? I can look on FinViz for you, but I don't really know much about that stock in particular. BRQS. Borks Technologies is up 3% today. Looks like it got pumped up a little bit from. It's at 17 cents, so be careful with penny stocks. They tend not to do well at all. Market cap is only 5 million, so it's very easy for the price to be manipulated upwards quite a bit. Short float of 5%, not crazy, but not bad. 8%. So, Bork Technologies solar energy subsidiary gets rapid market traction for participation in Hawaiian electric battery bonus program. So it might. Let me see if we can find anything else. No selling or buying from investors. They might have had some good news. Is there's an opportunity for them to have some type of deal worked out with some type of government institution, which when the government gives you money, they gave you a lot, of course, and I think that's what they're hoping for. It's a Hong Kong stock. That's interesting as well. Home Borks, global leader in IoT solutions, smart devices, and cloud platforms. Okay, the website is kind of weird, but oh, there it is. It showed up. Okay, I was like, why isn't that section loading? Um, about us, investor relations. This website's weird. But yeah, um, I would assume somebody either bought quite a bit of it up, or it was the news from yesterday about this solar subsidiary traction going on for Hawaii. I think that's probably one of the two things going on. I'd be very, very careful about this one, but usually when I see stuff like this that has an opportunity for some long-term gains, I give it a couple $100 just like any other like crypto coin that we talk about, and I just let it sit and I wait to see what happens with it. If it turns into something great, I make a little bit of money. But if it doesn't, I lose like $200, which not a lot, but still you lose $200. So I'd be careful with it, but as long as they're like a legitimate business, which it seems like they are, even though the website could use some work, of course. You could buy for an anticipation of some type of government contract, and I think it was either that news or maybe somebody is loading up on this, and we'll get a there'll be a filing about it later on this week saying, hey, this person bought so much of this stock, and then that'll give you an explanation there. Kind of how like Elon bought a bunch of Twitter, but then announced it later on. That type of thing. And hey, Beehive, long-term question. After a bull market returns, what exit prices do you have for STMX? I don't have exit prices for the majority of the coins that I hold. They're not, they're more of being timed to when Bitcoin is hitting all-time highs. So the only way I can see myself having an exit price for something like STMX is if it does something very, very parabolic by itself, and then I'll have to kind of see how that works out later on. Or if Bitcoin is reaching a level of all-time highs or is like really booming, at those booming points is when I'm actually going to start selling off some of my STMX. I'm not going to be looking at I'm not going to be estimating that, oh, I'm going to sell at this price or this price or this price. I'm going to be waiting to see what Bitcoin's doing, and then I'll kind of reevaluate. Like when I sold my half of my Dogecoin off at 50 cents, well below the top, but still pretty good from where I bought it at 0.0024. I only thought about 50 cents once Dogecoin reached like a nickel. That's exactly when I was like, okay, I'm gonna start selling mine at 50 cents there, and then I had a stop loss at a penny. And then of course it just kept on going up and up and up, and I moved up my stop loss bit by bit by bit. But with the power of social media and everything, it just kept on going up, of course. So yeah, I don't have price targets for any of the altcoins I'm buying. They're all kind of all the selling is going to be done timed with how Bitcoin is doing, and if Bitcoin's reaching some type of peak level, that's when I'm going to try to sell. And normally when I start looking at that, it's normally when I'll go back over here to this one, this Bitcoin chart, a little bit more data there. Let's get rid of the 200 EMA. So it's usually after a sizable boom, right? And then it looks like when we're going to have our first death cross here on the daily. So in this circumstance over here in 2018, it was right around here, death cross. Then we started coming back down, of course. In this circumstance over here, not at all-time highs, but right before COVID and all that good stuff, it was right around here, right? But you buy down here, you sell over here, you're going to be looking fine for altcoins. And then the same thing. Oh no, that's not the peak. Right here, death cross right there. That's where I'm usually going to sell my altcoins somewhere around that area. Over here as well, sell my altcoins somewhere around here as well. And then whenever we have another big boom, whenever we have that first death cross with a 20 and the 50 hit, the 50 and the 2, well, it's usually the 20 and the 50. That's where I'm going to be looking to sell my altcoins. And you don't have to sell. Like I've never actually sold on the day the death cross happens. It's just where you can start to see them getting closer and closer, where there's an opportunity for them to actually start crossing over. So maybe around here is where I could see myself selling off altcoins back in time, is where I did sell off some of my altcoins here. Over here, you can see it kind of teetering off again. Similar type of thought process. Going back over here to 2018, or excuse me, like 2000, what is this? 19, excuse me. It'd be more around here, right? You can see like, we've already had a drop coming back up here a little bit. I can see a death cross happening, and then I might have sold. I actually did sell some of my altcoins off over here, but back in 2019, there were not nearly as many of these freaking altcoins as there are now. There's so many freaking altcoins these days. And if you want to go over here to 2017, I wasn't trading crypto in 2017. I started my crypto journey back over here in 2018 when I met some random people like, hey, buy a bunch of Bitcoin. So I bought like 3 Bitcoin. But yeah, similar type of concept here. I would have been, as soon as I start to see there's a death cross coming. Ooh, that's why I want to be opening up some shorts or selling off my altcoins. Kind of how like, for about like a month and a half or 2 months before we had this big death cross over here, where historically death cross equals bad moves, right? I told you guys ahead of time that, hey, death cross, and during that time you could be selling off or opening short positions, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Back over here to normal chart. There you go. And Bitcoin's still on a little bit of a move right now. That's nice to see. I mean, it's nice to see that we're not flat out crashing. Still bearish, of course, but not crashing. And let's see. Uh, oh yeah, sorry guys. My microphone's been acting up, so I did turn up the volume a little bit for you guys here. What's over here? Cut the CEOs out real quick. I mean, that would help them cut down on money a lot, but the CEO is making the decision, so he's not going to cut down his own salary. Salaries have been going up a lot for CEOs, though, quite a bit. Let's see. And hey, Jib, I'm glad you bought the dip. Hopefully it works out for you right now. As long as you have a stop loss, you're going to be fine. It's worked out the last few times we've been down here as well. Just be aware of that CPI data coming out tomorrow. I'm really excited to see how bad or how good things are for the economy here as far as inflation is concerned. Uh, let's see. And hey, Ghost, he doesn't know what he's doing. Come on now. I'm going to try to give Jerome Powell some leniency here. I don't know. It's just remember I don't like Jerome Powell. I know you guys understand that, but he is the Federal Reserve. I am wishing him the best. Because for like the whole last year, the administration and the Federal Reserve were saying this is transitory. It's going away. It's going away. It's going away. When in fact there were tons of economists out there saying no, this is going to get worse, and they kind of just ignored them. And I think that had to do with political pressure and stuff like that to make it seem like things weren't going to get as bad. So yeah, he hasn't done a good job as of yet, but I'm hoping that it'll be like for Jerome Powell inflation, it'll be like how what I don't know if I can find a good movie scene in my head that will justify this, but like the U.S. economy, inflation, we hit it and it's pushing us back. We set our feet and now we're going to start pushing back. I'm waiting for us to stop our feet and start pushing back. We haven't done it yet, but I'm really rooting for Jerome Powell to get the job done, even though so far, yeah, you're right, he hasn't really shown the best quality of work for the American people, which he's supposed to be serving, of course, whom he's supposed to be serving. What's it here? And hey, Aaron, could you please look at Link? Yeah, we're going to take a quick peek at it here. Nothing crazy is going on with it. It's just kind of been riding up here bit day by day. I'm going to be more enthusiastic about shorting it here. So if we use the Fibonacci extension tool here, we hit the price target of 1. This is normally where I want to start selling my position off. Since we did break above that in the 50-day moving average, we have an opportunity to get back up here around $10.25. That's where I'd probably sell the rest of my Link at if I bought some down here. Or that's why I would start looking to open up some type of short position here with around a 3 to 5% stop loss if we actually come into contact with this blue line itself. But again, this is the day chart here. We'll have to wait and see, because if Bitcoin starts crashing tomorrow because of all this bad CPI data that's perceived to be coming out, that'll just bring this whole thing down really fast and it won't even look pretty. But we'll have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see how bad CPI numbers are. If the CPI data is mildly bad, the market may actually have a slight rebound. If it's mildly bad, in order to have a crash, guys, it has to be a lot hotter, a lot worse than what people are expecting. And then that's what's going to lead to a potential crash there. But for now, nice little move up. I see a level of resistance, though, right now at about $10.22 as that Fibonacci extension level right there. Because so far, we've had some pretty good levels of resistance dealing with this chart, and it's been honoring those levels pretty clearly. Well, best to do the 5-minute chart now so we can see what's going on. There we go. Works out. And hey, James, 3-day death cross coming. Let's see another bearish thing here, but there's an opportunity for us to go up higher, guys. It's just not a very good opportunity for us to go up higher. But remember, guys, there's always people pumping up Bitcoin online. It does have an effect, even if it's very small. We could see something fun happen if whales get involved. But again, it's going to be hard to rely on whales to really pump us up from here. Or, a big pump. What's it here? Jerome Powell is a joke. This whole collapse has been planned for some time now. Yeah, it's just, he's not that good, guys. I know, but I try, I'm still rooting for him to succeed. I'm still rooting for him to do a good job. And I'm hoping he can over the next few months, maybe even years, right? I'm hoping he can. And hey, Michael, Sol just broke above 40, but I just put in a short there. Well, there you go. Give it some time. It depends on how much leverage you have and if you can kind of stomach the price going up even more. If you can just hold on throughout all this turmoil, eventually the Bitcoin's price should continue going down in this turbulent market conditions, as well as the stock market here. If the CPI data is bad, you're going to see the stock market really crash down over the next few days. Maybe not crash is the best word, but go back into that bear market and end the bear market rally. As soon as we're done with this little bit of a rally we were kind of been experiencing, if you can even call it that anymore, you should see prices start to decrease even more, and you should make a profit if you're shorting or have any puts on the open market. There you go. And no worries, Aaron. Okay, everybody, I'm going to call it a night here. My voice is kind of hurting, and I am going to be going to bed a little bit early because I am going to be live tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Pacific time or 8 p.m. Eastern time. If you guys want to watch the CPI data numbers with me, come on over. I'll be happy to talk with you guys then. Until then, careful with Bitcoin. It's been really fun. It's been nice to buy at these low points and kind of sell at the top of this pattern here. So if you guys want to do that, feel free to do it. We've talked about it multiple times here so far. And some people have been making some good money off of just buying low, selling high with low leverage here, or even no leverage if you want to do no leverage as well, okay? But okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Pacific time, okay?